Hammers up, everyone. Towelliee here. 8.3 PTR Mythic raid testing for Ny'alotha, the Waking City, has begun. And I want to cover a few of my favorite bosses from the testing that we've been doing. One testing we did recently was Ny'alotha. He's back. Corruption Reborn. Now I'm going to go over some of the basic abilities. Then we're going to watch a video of our raid group testing it on the PTR. I was actually fortunate enough to test it with some of the members of Future. You'll see Trekkie there. I think Sloopbag was out of town, so I filled in and did my thing and stuff, and trying to make my BFF Slooty proud. But here's stage one. So for tanks, we have the Eye of Ny'alotha, which is a beam that hits you for a blast of damage. Hits anything in front of it. It's a huge radius too, so you have to really be away from everybody. Does a lot of shadow damage. So prop paladins are pretty good with bubble taunt and spell warding for this. And it'll increase your damage from Eye by 75%. It stacks. So I think we go 2 stacks, then we taunt. You have Touch of the Corruptor. Basically, he will mind control players for a minute. And during this time that they're mind controlled, they will attempt to spread the mind control to other players. You have to get them under 30% health. Or reduce deflected players to 30% health will remove this effect. You have the Corruptor's Gaze. It's a bunch of pew-pew beams that target you. So it's the Corruptor's ever-watching eyes, creates beams of dark energy following a targeted player and leaving Nightmare Corruption in its wake. And then Nightmare Corruption is 122,000 shadow damage every 1 second to any player within, as well as pacifying and silencing them, which is bad. Now, Bloods of Ny'alotha are from Phase 2. We'll get into that in a second. Then you have the Mythic mechanic, which is brutal. It's called Cursed Blood. Ny'alotha inflicts a curse on players that grows and shrinks. It's a really cool effect. You're going to see it on me. When the curse reaches full size, it inflicts a cursed pulse. When the curse is removed, it explodes, causing a cursed break. So upon removal, Cursed Blood explodes, inflicting shadow damage to all players based on the size of the curse. So the bigger the circle, if someone dispels you, it'll blow up the raid and wipe everybody. And you'll see how it works. And then Cursed Pulse is the other one. So once it reaches the maximum size, it'll pulse for 147,000 shadow damage to all players within 14 yards of the cursed player. Now, Phase 2, you're going to see a bunch of Organs of Corruption. And these are the... you'll still get Cursed Blood during this phase. So that Mythic mechanic still goes on there. And then the Organs of Corruption are these huge tentacles. Or not tentacles, more like... rooted, tentacle, globby tree thingies, kind of like in the actual Ny'alotha fight from Emerald Nightmare. And you just have to interrupt pumping blood. And if you let the pumping blood cast go off, these Bloods of Ny'alotha spawn, which they will fixate. They do a recurring nightmare on you, and it's bad. But we'll tell you how it goes down. So let me show you the fight itself. So where is it? There we are. That's me. I'm not really talking right now. You think I'm talking, but I'm not talking. That's just my video that I recorded while I was doing it. So that's, once again, it's not me now. This is me now. Okay. So there we are. Trekkie's to my left. I'm on the right there. So you're going to see the beam go out. There's the beam for the frontal cone for prop paladins or whatever, for whatever tank. And I'm just there doing my thing. I'm on my really under-geared, scaled-up paladin. And soon you're going to see this Cursed Blood go off. Now, you see all those big circles going off? Yeah, so there's the second one. I taunt. Now I'm tanking it. But yeah, so those circles grow big, then they grow small. They grow big, then they grow small. So we kind of assigned dispels by group. So once we saw that the circles were small, then you dispel them. When they're small, they do minimal damage. Now, in a few attempts when I did it, as a prot, I can... get rid of it myself by bubbling it off. And that's how I did it. And you can see the residue on the ground. That's from the fixate. Those are those corrupted beams. Those meme beams. And but he hits like a truck, though. Melee-wise, he hits like a truck. Prop paladins are pretty good for magical damage mitigation here with Holy Shield and Spell Ward and Bubble and major cooldowns. But I mean, for the melee swings, probably Brewmasters, Death Knights are probably going to be the king of this fight. But I'll tell you why prop paladins are going to be amazing. So in this fight, there's 3 organs, as you call it. I believe they are called, once again, the Organs of Corruption. Now, there they are. Now, the Organs of Corruption, I messed up there. I thought that was the actual cast, but the fight the phase hasn't started yet. So now that's what I have to interrupt. So since prop paladins have double interrupts with Rebuke and Avenger Shield, you could just have 2 prop paladins just sit on these ads and just interrupt. You see there, I missed one, so a blood spawn, that's bad. It's not necessarily a wipe, but it's not good either. It took me a couple of attempts to kind of get used to, you know, the rotation. It's a little finicky. Like when I would throw my Avenger Shield, it doesn't seem like it's actually hitting it instantly. It seems like it's traveling. Like the dude's far away from me, but he's right in front of me. So for me, this wasn't a really good attempt. Now, there's 3 of these organs of corruption. The way this fight works is you DPS Il'gynoth down 75 million, then you kill an organ. Then it goes back to phase 1. Oh my god! I literally screamed like a girl when I got caught in there. So at this point, we actually got one down. So now there's 2 organs of corruption left. So now after this phase is over and you burn them down again, I died. I think someone either died or got dispelled with the Curse of Blood being maxed. So now what happens is you kill him again, or you bring him down 75 million again, and then he phases, and then you kill another corruption, and then you fight him again, then you fight the final and 3rd organ of corruption, and then you fight him. So you're gonna take him down 4 times from 75 million to nothing to transition him, and you're gonna kill 3 organs of corruption, 1 in between each phase. So it's Il'gynoth corruption, Il'gynoth corruption, Il'gynoth corruption, Il'gynoth. And that's the fight. That's pretty much it. I mean, the Cursed Blood is pretty much the main mechanic of the encounter that you have to look out for. It's pretty brutal. One small mistake, one small dispel, you know, I'm pretty sure a lot of holy paladins, prop paladins, you know, brand new healers to the fight are probably just going to dispel from just seeing a dispel that could be dispelled, and they're going to blow up the raid. But I think it's a pretty cool encounter. Although I will say, with an organized Mythic raiding group, it does seem a little easy for being the 10th boss of the raid. Because right now, this is Mythic, and we're scaled down from, I believe, 460 item level. This would be a 475 boss. And as you can see in people's raid frames, only a few people are wearing corrupted gear. You know, only a few people are wearing corrupted gear, so it's not that crazy. So I would assume by the time we get to the 10th boss on Mythic, we should be almost 470 plus item level. Meaning that this fight would have been a lot easier for us had we had, you know, a bit more DPS, a couple more pieces of corruption resistance, etc. But yeah, that frontal beam for the tank is so damn big. It's like you have to be careful. I think a few times me and Trekkie might have clipped a few raid members, and that wasn't good at all. But yeah, this was like so there I have it. So I have the Cursed Blood. It's ticking damage on me, and I'm about to tank to start tanking it. So I figure I'm gonna let that sucker get, you know, small and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Then I'm gonna bubble taunt it off. So I was able to bubble taunt. So I was able to do 2 good things there. I was able to bubble taunt the boss to completely negate the beam damage. Plus, I got rid of my Cursed Blood. Now, in the intermission phase, you also can get Cursed Blood, but it won't do a lot of damage. You could just let that sucker just tick all the way up and tick all the way down, tick all the way up and tick all the way down. As a tank, you're not going to take that much damage, especially as a prop paladin with Holy Shield. The blocking of the magic damage, dot damage should be pretty efficient. But yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys think in the comments about the fight. I think it's pretty cool. Do I think it's undertuned? A little bit. I think mechanically, it just seems like a pretty easy encounter. And here we go back again to the ads. So you see right here, no one's dispelling me. They're just letting the buff go on me. So the Cursed Blood is just small, then it's big, then it's small, then it's big. It's pretty easy. But yeah, I think for this fight, if you want to kind of not cheese it, but make it easier, man, two prop paladins. 2 prop pallies. That way you have 1 prop paladin on 1 organ of corruption, 1 prop paladin on another organ of corruption, and then the entire raid is just murking down the actual targeted organ of corruption. And you don't have to have melee or anybody else help you with interrupts. But if your composition is like a brewmaster or anything else like that, then you might have to have a melee just kind of alternate interrupts with you. And because the casts go out pretty frequently. So you'll definitely have a lot of time. Yeah, right here I wasn't really. I mean, the DPS on the ad doesn't matter. Like, you don't have to DPS the ad. You want to pad meters, you could if you want to, whatever. But I pretty much just decided to just not do a lot of damage, just kind of hold my interrupts and make sure that I get my either Grand Crusader proc, normal Avenger Shield, or Rebuke off. But that's it. That's pretty much the fight. And that's boss number 10. After this, it's the Carapace of Ny'alotha and Ny'alotha the Corruptor. So yeah, this is like I said, I based on other Mythic raid testing I've done in the past 2 weeks, this is like an easy peasy boss. I don't know. They might have to do something different to make it a little bit harder. But we'll see. Yeah. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give the video what is it you young whippersnappers do now? That you downvote everything and shit? Everything's bad. BFA sucks. Go to hell. Bring on phase 9. Just kidding. Anyway, that's Ny'alotha. Let's see if we guess. Well, actually, wait. So hold on. Video's not done. I think did we do another attempt? He gonna do one more. He gonna do one. He gonna do one. He gonna do one more. All right, let's go one more. Let's see how far we get here. We actually don't get far at all. Trekkie's a beast, though. Pretty happy. There's me with my douche flute. That's what they call it. We call it the douche flute in my channel. Yeah, the vape mod. My vaping is. I have like 1 or 2 people come to my channel like once every couple of years, and they're like, "Dude, what's up with the douche flute?" And I'm like, I don't know what you mean, douche flute. Anyway, that's the fight. Fuck it. 2 attempts is all you get. I just kidding. The video was actually over. Twitch.tv/Towelliee. Make sure you guys, catch me on the Twitches. We're doing Mythic raid testing, I think, every Thursday and Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And some days you'll see that the Blizzard leaves the normal mode open over the weekend. I might do a video on that little compilation of as many bosses that we could possibly kill. Have a good time, y'all.